Every supply chain plan goes out of date the moment it is set. Prices shift, suppliers slip, demand swings, and most teams only find out once the loss has hit the books. Axyo exists to change that. It measures your plan against the real world every day and surfaces the risk while you can still act on it. To show how, we'll walk through a single scenario at Northstar Industrial Systems, a sample company built to reflect a typical mid-market manufacturer, from the first warning sign to the decision that protects its profit. Northstar makes and distributes the repair parts that keep factories running. When a machine goes down, its customer can lose thousands of dollars an hour, so speed and availability are everything. Keeping the right part in the right place is the heart of the business. In our scenario, demand for Northstar's best-selling repair kit is rising, and one critical part inside it is about to fall short. That one kit is the thread we'll follow throughout. Strong planning comes down to a few key questions. What will we sell? What can we make or source? What should we make or source to protect service and revenue and earn the most profit? And how are our suppliers performing? In most companies, 4 separate teams answer these in 4 disconnected tools that rarely agree. Axyo answers all 4 in one connected system, with a single integrated early warning system watching across them, so risk surfaces early, not after it hits the books. The first question: what will we sell? This is Maria's home screen. Most planners begin the day digging through reports to find what's wrong. Maria doesn't have to. Axyo has already done that work and placed the few things that genuinely need her at the top, each one with the money attached. At a glance, the company is short 439 kits, roughly $117,000 of profit is at stake, and 7 risks warrant a look. The day begins with decisions, not data gathering. Most tools apply one method to everything. That is fine for steady products, but it breaks down on the difficult ones, items that sell in bursts or have no history at all. Axyo tests many methods using its built-in AutoML platform and selects the best fit for each product based on the company's specific data shape, automatically. A forecast is only useful if you can get beneath the headline number. Axyo lets you open the grid level by level, from a whole product family down through its product lines to a single item. And the same grid can be recut by a completely different dimension, by market, and then by product line within each market. Open one market, drill to one product, and you arrive at the precise number behind it, ready to inspect or adjust. However it is sliced, the totals always tie back. Click any number, and Axyo explains it in plain terms: the season, recent sales, a major customer's maintenance schedule. The planner can accept it or adjust it. And when they adjust it, the model learns from the change and improves. Nothing is a black box. Sales, planning, and finance usually each carry their own numbers, and meetings stall over whose is right. Axyo brings them to a single agreed forecast and expresses it as money, the expected revenue for the period. One number the whole organization plans from. A finished kit is built from many smaller parts: gears, bearings, connectors. That parts list is the bill of materials. Axyo takes demand for the kit and flows it all the way down to every component, so it knows precisely how many of each are required. This is the link between selling and making, and where the next question begins. Before anyone trusts a forecast, Axyo grades its own work. It shows how accurate the forecast has been, and whether it tends to run high or low, its bias. So the team knows exactly how much to rely on each number, rather than guessing. Axyo measures every step in the planning process. The model first, then the sales, marketing, and planner adjustments, and shows whether each one made the forecast better or worse. Here it flags that sales overrides are actually hurting accuracy in one area. You can see precisely where human judgment helps and where it does not. Axyo also shows how outside signals line up with demand over time. Not just whether they are linked, but how strong the link is, and how many weeks ahead one tends to move the other. This is the evidence behind the forecast, not a hunch. Here, Axyo ranks the forces behind demand by how much each one matters. For Northstar, construction activity is the largest, followed by the manufacturing index and new tariffs. It shows how demand responds to each, and by how much, and the planner can add a driver straight into the forecast. The model is not a black box. Its reasoning is transparent. Finally, Axyo separates each demand pattern into its parts: the long-term trend, the repeating seasonal swing, and whatever is left over, and points out any unusual spikes. This is how it tells a true seasonal pattern from random noise, so the forecast follows the real signal. The second question: what can we make or source? Axyo brings every plant and shipping lane onto one map, and immediately it puts a figure on the exposure. $7.4 million of revenue at risk, the sales Northstar stands to lose if it cannot deliver on time. This is inventory, where the real challenge is balance. Enough stock to serve customers without tying up too much cash on the shelf. Axyo manages that balance across every location and adjusts the targets automatically as demand moves, rather than relying on a fixed number set once and forgotten. To build the kit, Northstar needs two things: the parts and time on the production line. Axyo weighs both together and gives the honest answer. It can build 1,025 kits against a need of 1,464, leaving it 439 short. And it names the exact cause: a single gear from one supplier, Bremen Precision Gear, which has just gone on strike. The entire shortfall traces back to one part. The third question: what should we make or source? It begins with true cost. Most companies plan on a rough standard cost that hides the real figure. Axyo builds the cost up from every part, then adds freight costs, import duties, and tariffs, the full landed cost. So every profit number that follows is honest. With the gear in short supply, Northstar cannot build every kit. So which kits should it build? Axyo recommends the optimal mix. It protects the most important customers first, then fills the remaining capacity with the highest profit kits. The result earns roughly $117,000 more profit than building orders in the sequence they arrived, while keeping the customers Northstar cannot afford to lose. The fourth question: how are our suppliers performing? Axyo scores every supplier on the three things that matter: cost, delivery, and quality. Most scorecards track delivery alone and are rebuilt by hand once a quarter. Axyo keeps all three current, every day, so the weak links stand out before they cause trouble. Open any supplier, and the single score opens into the real numbers behind it. Cost, delivery, and quality each break down into the actual measures: on-time delivery, defect rates, lead time reliability, price discipline. And note that cost is scored too. Most scorecards judge a supplier only on delivery and quality and miss the one that quietly costs you money. Every score here can be backed up with facts. Finally, you can line suppliers up side by side and generate a complete review pack for a supplier meeting in a single click. The full picture, ready to share, instead of an analyst spending a day building slides. And how long does this take to stand up? Not months, hours or days. Axyo sits on top of the systems Northstar already runs. Their ERP, their warehouse system, even their spreadsheets. Nothing is replaced. And it adds the outside data most planning tools ignore: commodity prices, tariffs, and more. Axyo brings all of this data into one shared canonical model, so every team works from the same definitions. And it checks the data as it arrives, catching missing values, duplicates, and errors. That is why every number in this demo carries a confidence level. The data behind it has been verified. To conclude, Axyo protects the four things every business cares about most: revenue, margin, cost, and cash, together, in one place, continuously. And it is built for the enterprise. Independently audited controls, your data held in your own region, and AI whose decisions can be explained and audited, line by line. Plans are set once. The world changes daily. Axyo keeps the two aligned, so you see risk while it is still a decision, not after it becomes a loss. Try it on your own data.